Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Agents of the Nexus. Welcome to episode 3. I'm actually surprised we've gotten this far. Yeah. Very surprised we got this far. So, it's been a couple of weeks. It's probably going to be every 2 weeks on Friday evenings, as far as a schedule for the campaign. We'll definitely be trying to keep the Twitter better up to date for stuff like this. That's at After Atlantis on Twitter. I think that's pretty much all the housekeeping from myself here. Let me bring the music down just a bit more, and let's see how the party's doing tonight.
Company.
Now see, it just turns it on and off for an D&D Beyond. Which is kind of confusing.
Kind of confusing. That's how the stream is starting, right, Chrono?
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, that works out pretty well then.
Wait, what did I miss?
Exactly.
Everything.
Oh, god damn it. To me, I missed the second coming of Jesus.
Hopefully not.
That's how you kill a conversation.
Not gonna lie, that is not the sort of thing I would have expected from you out of anybody in this group.
And that's what makes it even better.
Wouldn't it be great if my internet worked properly so I could pull my sheet up?
Well, I can reference it if we absolutely need it, so...
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pull up Butch chat, which... Oh, it is active right now. Okay.
Alright, so... let's go ahead and make a little bit of an audio transition here.
Don't do it. It's
Too
a
late.
trap.
Too late.
No! So, Dressier, you're not ready? Excellent.
I'm never ready.
Yes, we have a new party member. This will be fun.
I like this guy already.
Yes.
Alrighty. So, obviously he hasn't been with you guys thus far, so we're going to slowly ease him into things.
Uh-oh.
Be gentle, guys. Be gentle. Alright, let me just check on something.
Okay.
I am leaning to one side on the screen, and I'm not sure why. Let me see if I can fix that.
Maybe your avatar's drunk.
Eh.
That's better.
I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
I just need a little bit of calibration. Okay.
I swear to drunk I'm not God. I know what I said.
What's the officer problem?
That's a new one.
Nice.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those nights, guys.
It is.
Uh,
And by
Well-
those nights, it means a lot of fun and really crazy.
I never assumed this was going to be anything other than an action comedy. So anyway,
That's good. Because that's what we're getting.
can anybody recap for me what exactly happened last time?
I wasn't here, so...
Doom.
Pretty much, yeah.
We
I don't
came
recall
into-
any heavy metal.
We
I mean, there was a large boom.
Yes. We encountered, by encountered, I mean, showed up at Ocean Loft, which is a very pretty city. Knife ended up going swimming because he decided to play fetch.
Now, now, you were the one who threw the stick.
We followed a small girl who, in true anime logic, was able to lift several hundred pounds easily.
I have a logical explanation for that, but I'm not going to tell you.
It's anime girl syndrome. It's fine.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but...
I'm just going to assume this isn't her final form.
And then we showed up at a temple, which made me cry. Beauty of it.
There was a lot of pepper just thrown right
Yes.
in the eyes.
Selena finally got her bath. She'd been desperately wanting for a while. No?
Yes. Because poor Selena was only able to take a sponge bath after being engulfed and then yanked out of a
Catapulted out of.
a ambulatory pile of Jello.
Yes, literally catapulted, as in with the spell.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Well, not for Selena, but
That pretty much covers it. Oh, there was a battle on our way to Ocean Loft.
Actually, that was after.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ocean.
we're on our way to Waterdeep.
What was the name
Water-
of it? Waterdeep.
Yeah, we're on our way to Waterdeep right now.
Excellent.
On the Dusklight. I made
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what I named the ship.
Oh. Welcome to the stream, everyone.
I am a horrible dungeon master as I don't take notes. I really need to start.
Hey, why take notes when you record every session?
But then I have to actually go back and listen to the sessions, and when do I have the time?
That's true.
Fair.
I mean, I'm going to be doing that eventually, just as part of getting everything converted to audio for the podcast. But I want to get a few more sessions under our belts collectively before I actually do that. Just in case we have to skip a week or something. But
Legit. So that about covers it.
so
Brock, welcome to the party.
Good luck.
So a few extra details. The attack had been a handful of drow wielding what a couple of you actually recognize to be small scale firearms. Yes.
Yes.
They were basically there for Ileana, the archmage that you're
We're
accompanying.
hired guards.
Basically, yes, of a sort. There are reasons which we might get to later, but she eventually showed up and with a single spell just knocked everybody off the boat.
Yes.
All the
So-
bad guys.
One of them dropped a
Where's
gun.
We're still on the boat. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
there was also copyright infringement by Knife.
Yes.
Wait, what?
The Windows 95 startup sound.
Oh yeah, that.
Not a sponsor.
Oh, I'm gonna just wait till we actually start the session.
Oh no.
Yeah, let me put it this way: if Microsoft ever actually decided to sponsor our stream, they would have to do some serious convincing after what they've done to Mixer. But that's another topic entirely, and nothing I'm going to talk about right now. Anyway.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, back on the boat. So,
Meanwhile, at the ocean. Meanwhile, back at the boat. Back to the boat. The boat is now flying. What?
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Enough
Serious
derailing.
time. Serious time. The remainder of the trip to Waterdeep goes fairly uneventfully. No other attacks. In fact, you're still might be wondering about the fact that there was no ship, but that's something you can worry about later. So, morning comes, everybody wakes up and gets a start to the day, however they usually do. And you hear activity up on deck. You basically gather from the sorts of noise that you're hearing that you're actually approaching your destination. Do you stay below decks until the ship is docked, or do you want to head up and see where exactly it is you've been headed this whole time?
Oh, Selena's up top looking around.
Okay. Anybody else?
Liam is, if he's allowed to be, in the crow's nest.
I don't know if they'd let a passenger up there, to be honest.
Okay. In which case, he's on deck, in an unobtrusive place.
Okay. Yeah, if you had some sort of seafaring background, they might have made an exception, but as far as they can tell,
Fair enough.
as far as they can tell, you're just a landlubber, so.
Fair enough.
Sup with you, knife?
Is he still collapsed unconscious on the deck?
Yes.
I figured you know, after you recovered the firearm that he had pointed to in his last moment of wakefulness.
Quote-unquote heroism.
Yeah, I figured you probably just like slowly dragged him back to the bunk room.
Yeah.
He's heavy and we can't lift him, remember?
I said drag.
Okay.
Fair.
All the way down that flight of steps. Ka-thunk,
Thump,
thunk,
thump,
ka-thunk, ka-thunk.
We drag him by the feet, of course.
Of course.
Says who?
Probably says Selena, figuring, he won't need it.
Fair.
Right?
So I guess I'm just down at the bottom of or back in the rooms or whatever, putting my foot back on.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
Okay. So, the two of you that are up on deck, you see you're headed into harbor. It's kind of chilly this morning because it's turning towards autumn season.
Oh, so
But-
that's why I fell. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you're right.
Keep that up, and I'm gonna burn your inspiration.
You know what? Fair enough.
So, you see, it's still a fairly busy port. It looks like the harvest time is a fairly good time of year for commerce, as you see a lot of ships coming in and out with imports and exports. Give me the two of you that are on deck. Give me a perception check.
Alright, let's put it this way. Selena's staring out at the water going, hey, the other place was called Ocean Loft. We went way up in the air. I wonder if this place is called Water Deep because we're going to go down underwater or something. And she's just busy staring at
Well,
not
That-
paying attention to anything else.
That sounds like a nat 1.
No, it was a 2.
Close enough.
15.
Okay, so you definitely notice a couple of interesting things. 3 interesting things specifically. 3 very... what's the word? Ostentatious vessels in the harbor. There are 2 that are actually docked, and there's one that's actually kind of sitting out in the harbor, and the ship you're on kind of gives it a wide berth just so that they can avoid any chance of a collision.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, he's staring at the ship. Selena goes, ooh, fish!
And at this point, my character just runs through the door. Someone say fish?
Selena points and then opens her mouth, thinks for a second without actually blurting it out for once, and just closes her mouth. Not wanting to dive in after the fish because never get him out.
Yeah, Liam actually starts reaching for the stick that's kind of tucked into his gear haphazardly and decides against it.
Selena sees him reaching for it and slaps his hand. I'll go after it.
You're not gonna try and throw it back down the stairs I just climbed up?
No.
Okay.
As to the ships, they're ostentatious. Can I tell anything else about them from my vantage point?
They seem to be decorated very festively, as does the section of the docks that are where the other 2 ships seem to be moored.
Okay.
I think that's the right word.
Sure, why not?
I
think
was...
so.
Look, I was a soldier and an Air Force brat. I had nothing to do with the Navy. I have no idea what any of these terms are.
Legit.
I don't even know what a poop deck is.
You know, Google can help with that.
I know it can, but I'm scared to Google port or poop deck.
Fair
As
enough.
well you should be.
Yes.
Especially
I
if
don't
you...
know how you know he should be afraid to do that.
Let's just say that I typically leave safe search on. Because I've seen what happens if you don't. Anyway.
Very good choice. Anyways, so having been thwarted from my entertainment with Knife, I'm going to just use minor illusion. Not anywhere near the ostentatious ships, but make kind of a like a hoity-toity person harumphing voice, kind of in the air over the harbor. Fairly loud.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
4.
Oh, I'm not liking these rolls already.
The men handling the ship that you're on see exactly what you did. They see exactly what ship you were looking at, and they kind of gathered what it is you were doing, and they all just kind of, They laugh for a few seconds and then get back to work.
Okay. All right.
Wait, you rolled a 4?
My sleight of hand is, I only got a +2.
So
Total
you're-
of 4. I rolled a 2. Yeah.
This is gonna be a fun day.
Yes.
All right, so your ship pulls up to a dock. The dock hands work with the sailors to tie down the ship and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And gangplank is lowered, and folks start to disembark from the vessel. Ileana and Neptune have met you on the main deck, and you can see coming up to the bottom of the gangplank down on the dock seems to be gentlemen, very official-looking robes, and looks like he has something like a clipboard almost, as though he's waiting for somebody.
Okay.
Selena's just following Ileana, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're all doing.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so Ileana goes down first with Neptune in tow, and she pulls something out of a pouch and shows it to the gentleman in the robes. If anybody wants to, they can give me a perception check.
14 plus what? Yeah. So a total of 6.
Let's see. That is a 6. With the modifier, yeah, I got 8.
That's what I got as well.
Okay.
Selena saw something more for once.
Paper.
Well, this just means you're getting all your bad rolls out of the way now.
Yes.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully.
Okay, so Selena actually catches a glimpse. It looks like it could be a silver coin, but it's a lot larger than a coin. And it seems to basically kind of clue the robed gentleman into what's going on, and so he basically just, in a hushed voice, just kind of speaks back and forth with her for a moment, and then kind of gestures her onto the docks and into the city.
Selena follows her down the gangplank. Hello. This is my
The-
first time here. I'm with her.
The gentleman goes, "Welcome to Waterdeep. Can I get your name, please?"
Well, you seem awfully excited. I'm Selena.
Very well. He writes that down. Will you be staying for longer than a 10-day?
I don't know. I'm here with the Archmage Juliana here. She's
And-
hired us to do some different things, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how long we're going to be here.
In that case, I'll mark you down as a yes.
Okay.
Thank you for registering with the City of Waterdeep. You may go on your way.
Okay. Selena follows after Ileana, glancing over her shoulder at the official. He seems happy. So we should give him a present, like maybe a fish.
Well, he's distracted with Selena. Liam just kind of sidles on by, or tries to.
Give me a stealth check.
Oh boy. Oh wow, a good roll. 16.
He rolled a 1.
Jeez, a plus 15 modifier? Wow.
No. The magistrate rolled a 1 to see if I could spot him. Because, of course, that's when he rolls well. Is when I want him to be seen. So much fail. Okay. Yeah, so I doubt Knife is going to be very successful in sneaking. So, what does he do?
He's just been basically following everyone at this point, so I guess he'd be the one up next.
Kind of taking up the rear? Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Waterdeep. Can I get your name, please?
My name's Knife.
And he kind of looks at you for a second. Knife it is. Writes it down. Will you be staying for longer than a 10-day?
Probably.
Good to know. Thank you for registering with the City of Waterdeep. Please be on your way.
Thank you. And he just walks on. Completely oblivious to everything that just happened. Like, he's just used to this.
So yeah, most of you are now registered as citizens of Waterdeep.
Most of you.
Oh.
Meaning now you get to pay taxes.
Yes.
Oh, buddy, if you ever get caught, you are going to be paying out so much money.
Yep.
We got a tax evader here, boys!
So let's see here. We have Edgy and Yoshi. Huh. Well, no, I guess Yoshi was tax fraud.
Let's see here. I need to check on something.
Are you sure you're ready to join us, Drock?
Sure.
I got to check on something. Hang on.
Oh, he's rolling dice.
No, Ileana didn't see you sneak by either.
Oh, perfect.
So, as far as she knows, you
What
are... Oh, Nep doesn't roll.
Oh, okay.
She just doesn't... She doesn't have to roll. She just doesn't care.
This is wonderful.
All right. So you meet Ileana up at the section of the docks where it looks like there's a spot where you can head into the city.
So we're gonna head into the city now. I would like to explore a little bit if we don't have any time to do anything. So excited after not talking all night. Anyway, it looks like a fun city to explore here. I wonder if they have any public bathhouses. Or I'm sorry. Do you have any work for us to do first?
No. Now that we're actually here in the City Watch should be able to take care of any sort of attackers that might be a problem. Although I don't think anyone's going to be stupid enough to try to do that in broad daylight. I need to head up to Castle Waterdeep to speak with Lady Silverhand. So you three are free to explore the city, find a place to room for the night, and I will catch up with you as soon as I'm able.
Okay, a couple questions first. First of all, do you want us to get a room for you too, or do you already have accommodations?
I'll take care of myself and Neptune. Don't worry about us.
All right, that's good to know. And would you have? It's good to know that the city is a fairly safe place too. Also, if you've ever been here before, do you know if there is a public bathhouse or not?
That would be something you'd want to ask the locals about. This is actually my first time here as well.
Oh, how exciting! All right, I'll do that. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Okay.
May I accompany you to Castle Waterdeep?
Actually, I think you should probably stay with the others just to keep an eye on them. And she kind of looks at Knife, and then at
Just
Selena,
blindly
and then back at
staring
Knife.
out into the.
Selena-
And Knife is just blindly staring into everything right now.
She's kind of looks over at.
We might want to keep an eye on him.
She's kind of
Very
looks
well.
over and then back at you and just thank you.
All right.
And
So
then she heads off with Neptune in tow.
we go a wandering.
Are you looking for anything in particular besides a bathhouse?
Are there any townspeople nearby?
There's a lot of dock workers that seem to be busy loading, unloading, that sort of thing. There are guards patrolling.
I was gonna say Waterdeep's a large town, so
Yeah, it's a really big city.
one of the biggest in the realms. So, anyways,
How about the two of you, not Knife, because he obviously wouldn't know. Give me a history check.
ooh,
16,
that
17.
That-
total.
that would be a 13.
Okay, so in your travels, the both of you have definitely heard of a relatively.
Selena would have read a book about it.
At some point, you would have learned that one of the fairly famous landmarks in Waterdeep is actually a tavern called the Yawning Portal, so named because it has a well in the center of the tavern floor that actually leads down. It actually serves as an entrance into a massive dungeon complex that spans beneath the city known as Undermountain.
Selena looks around for a little bit. Well, if anybody else doesn't have any ideas, how about we go to that famous inn around here? I always wanted to see that after reading about it a little bit. Maybe somebody there know about a bathhouse too.
Knife, come on.
Quick question. What's an idea?
Selena facepalms again.
You do that a lot.
I do now.
Ideas are things you don't need to worry about, Knife. Just come on.
Selena
Okay.
nods. What was the name of that inn again?
The Yawning Portal.
Sounds like someone's actually taking notes.
I'm
I
glad
am.
somebody is.
Oh, Can I take inspiration away from the DM? Because this is not going to work out well.
Uh-oh.
Anyways. We wander until we find the yawning portal, I suppose.
So you're just going to wander? You're not going to, like, ask for directions or anything?
Hey, Liam is perfectly aware of what he's done. He's not asking the law anything. But after a while, he might go, Selena, why don't you ask one of the guard, they could direct us.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. Do you think they look very friendly, though? I'm kind of looking around for a city, just not like a local. Locals know all about all the best spots and the best, quickest ways with the least amount of traffic to get there.
Give me a perception check.
Who? All of us, or?
Selena, since she's the one actively looking.
Okay.
10. What is my perception?
Wisdom.
So that brings up to 12.
Okay, that is definitely enough. You do happen to spot a... you've seen enough members of the City Watch patrolling so far that you recognize the uniform immediately. But this one definitely sticks out because he is a fairly tall dragonborn with silver scales.
Still in a City Watch uniform, though? Or?
He's got a City Watch uniform on.
Ooh, isn't he handsome? I think he's a Dragonborn. I read about those. I wonder if he's friendly.
I know those.
Oh, really? You
Yes.
met them before?
Raised by one, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that. Are they friendly?
Mostly.
Mostly? What do you mean
Yeah,
by... Alright, I should probably rephrase that. How friendly are they? Or does it vary by individual? Or...
By individual, I think. I've only ever met, like, 2.
Well, that's 2 more than I've met. Read about a lot of them, though, but not much. Is he looking around suspiciously, or bored, or official-like? Or what's his expression?
He seems to be just kind of leisurely strolling.
I wonder if we should ask him for directions, or just kind of proceed into the city until we find the local.
The City
Are you
Watch
saying-
are locals.
Are you
Yeah.
saying... Are you saying guards aren't local? Guard?
I'm sorry, I meant like a, citizen, like,
They are citizens.
Guards aren't citizens?
I mean, just an ordinary townsfolk person.
You guys are really dragging this out!
Let me point out that during this, Knife is being the reason.
So, what I do, as Selena's going on her rant, I make myself more unobtrusive if possible, because Liam's kind of a bland quote unquote half elf, so kind of dull the color of his eyes a little bit, to make him even more plain.
Okay.
And then when that's done, I'm going to catch the Dragonborn's eye a little bit, roll my eyes, and point to Knife and Selena as in, you see what I have to deal with here?
Meanwhile, Selena says, look, we're off on an adventure. I've always read about adventures. I've always wanted to go off on adventures. And in all the adventure stories I read when I was a little girl, everybody walks into the bar, they ask a local, plain old generic-looking guy, and he sets them off on some sort of interesting, fascinating quest. Nobody asks any government officials for any quests.
That's because they're not asking.
You make a good point.
They would ask.
All right, how about you go ask them since you've had experience with the Selena mutters to herself, wait.
You know what? We're doing this.
Oh boy.
So Knife walks up to the Dragonborn, then turns back around to Selena and basically yells at Selena, "What am I asking him again?"
kind of face palms, puts it down her hand, says, "I'm gonna have a nasty bruise by the end of the week and/or day."
Okay,
Well,
I'm curious. How are you taking in all of this?
At which point, the Dragonborn turns around, kind of jumps a little bit because he didn't realize anybody was there, and suddenly yelling out of nowhere.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to forgive him. He's knifey. Anyway, would you happen to know the way to that famous inn, the Yawning Portal?
The yawning portal. Yes, actually. As a matter of fact, I'm heading there now. I just finished my shift, so I figured I'd take a drink before I turn in. You're welcome to join me if you'd like.
Oh, you wouldn't mind? That would be lovely. Thank you.
I could at least show you the way. You don't have to spend the day with me, but you can just, I can show you there, and you can do as you please after that.
Well, thank you. I'd love that. Knifey, are you
Thank
going
you.
to follow along? Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's Knifey.
Go ahead and follow me. And he heads off in that direction, but as he starts walking, he turns back and says, "So, are you new here?"
Oh yes, this is my first time here. We're here with the Archmage Ileana. We kind of helped escort her here. We had a terrible encounter with some drow elves last night. It was kind of scary because it was after dark and I was kind of half asleep. And anyway,
Interesting.
This is my first time here, but I've read about it quite a bit.
Well, welcome to Waterdeep.
Well, thank you.
And forgive me, I should introduce myself. My name is Shima Ryu, but you may just call me Shima if you wish.
Shima. All right, I'll try to remember that. I'm not very good with names, though. I apologize.
Take notes.
So he kind of blinks at him.
You just hear a click in Knife's head.
What that quick was? Oh well. Moving on.
And the other one there is new everywhere.
In more ways than one.
Liam indicates knife. Yes, is new everywhere.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all.
Oh, and by the way, this is Hedgie. Well, we don't really. He doesn't really. He's not very outgoing, and Knifey just started to call him Hedgie, and Nick kind of stuck. So, unless he wants to introduce himself, we'll just kind of keep calling him, I guess.
Very well, Hedgie it is.
And that's in character, by the way.
I could have sworn it was edgy, not hedgy, but okay. Telephone game.
So, Reggie.
So he just swore he said Hedgie like a hedgehog. He's kind of practically on the outside. Once you get to know him, he's a little bit nice, but what's Reggie? What did you actually say, Knifey?
You just hear gears turning.
Broke him again.
Click, 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 click.
You guys are gonna break me by the end of this session.
Yes! DM breakage. You win.
I think that is Shade and I's goal, and whenever we get in any sort of voice chat with somebody, is to break them by the end of the session.
Yes.
That is actually how you win at Dungeons and Dragons. You break the DM.
Yes. So jumping in the slightly back machine, what is it that you had said? Dragonborn you.
What did I say?
Yeah, what did you say?
I actually can't remember the last thing I said.
All I heard was, "So, Reggie," and then laughter
that's right,
from
that's
all
right.
corners.
Yeah, I basically just asked, so Reggie, tell me about yourself. What brings you to Waterdeep?
A promise. And he actually literally stops in the street and looks like he's thinking. And And
Selena
maybe.
stops, Selena stops, kind of raises her hand, and like she wants to pat him on the shoulder, thinks twice about, and looks her hand down. You okay?
I was until you decided to do that little show of emotion. Anyways, I'm here.
All right.
I'm here because of a promise, and perhaps maybe a way to be less edgy. And he says that with a smile that is more teeth than actual genuine humor. And then he keeps walking.
Selena kind of cocks her head to the side and looks after him for a bit.
Shima watches also. He looks confused, curious, but lets it go.
Okay.
And Knife just wasn't paying attention at all.
Selena kind of mutters half to herself. Just when you think you got him figured out, something new comes up.
And then Shima turns to Knife and, not knowing who he is yet, just says, "And yourself?"
I'm sorry, I thought I introduced myself. I'm Knife.
Knife. He actually stops at this point, kind of turns his shoulder slightly to show the hilt of a great sword strapped to his back, pats the hilt and says, "You're not a knife. This is a knife."
Oh, excellent.
Selena says, "No, that's his name," and then starts laughing.
And Shima
Okay.
just smiles.
Okay, even Liam actually chuckles at that.
So if that's a knife, and at this point I just pull out my two-bladed scimitar, what's this?
That's a scimitar, Knifey.
Oh. Then I just put it back.
So you said that you've been on a trip and seen some action. I take it you are capable warriors, perhaps?
Maybe?
Well, I don't know. I grew up among the priests in the temple, and I don't know, I came from a pretty small town and pretty capable there, but I haven't really been in any sort of big fights, even because mostly the city guard back home. It was a really small town, and so no big fights there. So I mean, taking out the captain of the guard town isn't really that big a deal. A bunch of roving challengers have kind of taken him out. We're not terribly proud of that fact. The gelatinous monster I don't really want to talk about. I did okay against the Drow elves, though.
Indeed, that is something. They're a dangerous foe.
Of course, then Archmage Juliana kind of finished them off before we really had to worry about him, so that really doesn't speak anything either.
I stood in front of a door.
Yes, you did, Knifey.
And you did such a good job.
Just a quick aside, I told myself I'm going to stay in character no matter what when we started this.
Good luck.
Yeah. So we already broken you?
Oh yeah, like within the first 5 seconds.
Yes! You're gonna fit in well.
Like I said, action comedy. Continue.
Yes.
I think we're just following him to the end at this point, aren't we?
Yeah, he continues to make small talk, just kind of passing back and forth. Oh, there's this here, and you can also find that. Kind of point some things out along the way, just as they go along.
Selena's chattering right along, asking a couple of follow-up questions. Oh, hey, before I forget, you don't happen to know if there's a bathhouse in the city, would you?
I'm sure there is. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not one much for bathing. I'm usually good with a good sand scrub.
Oh, I love going to baths. It's my favorite thing ever. especially after getting on that weird ship. But anyway, maybe something at the inn will know.
You know, out of character for a second, that's gonna be Selena's like quest chain, or like to find the best bathhouse.
Anywhere you go, she will be looking for
yeah.
the bathhouse.
Yes, exactly.
Completely traumatized by that slime encounter.
Oh,
She did like baths before then too, actually. But
I can't wait to
But
send you guys
that
down to
did
Under
actually-
Mountain eventually.
oh boy,
Wait, what?
Oh boy. Anyways,
All right, so by this point you've made it to the Yawning Portal. It's not as it's definitely a landmark in the city. It looks like it's been built and rebuilt a few times, possibly due to its proximity to an entrance down into a massive dungeon complex. So
fair.
it looks like the roof was recently patched up in a couple of places. So definitely looks like a lively spot.
ooh, I've heard of this place. Looks a little bit more under construction than the travel brochures made it sound, though.
It certainly is, but you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Wait, what?
That's gonna be your shtick, isn't it?
I was looking for a bath. I mean, the dungeon might be attractive to some people, and I guess it is kind of a landmark thing, but looks like it's bad for business, she says, eyeing the recent construction.
At the very least, there may be someone inside who can point you in the direction of a bathhouse, unless they have some themselves.
Ooh, I hope so.
Shima, you would know that the construction is due to a fairly gnarly fight that happened about a month or two ago at this point, involving several Zentarim agents and a few locals that had been dealing with quite a few home invasions of their own. But that's about all you know. You weren't actually there for any of it.
Out of curiosity. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Do you say any of this out loud?
Yeah, he was going to say, he kind of points his thumb in the direction of the damage and pretty much relays everything that he knows about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. On the one hand, it'd be kind of cool to spend the night in such a famous inn. On the other hand, do you know if there's any inns in the town where we could actually get a night's sleep without being attacked by, say, drow elves?
To be fair, this is the one I usually frequent, so I'm not very knowledgeable about the rest.
Do you often get attacked in the middle of the night, or do these things typically happen during, say, business hours?
He grins and kind of pats his sword again and says, "To be fair, no one's been stupid enough to try so far."
Fair enough. I mean, I don't mind a good, bit of excitement during business hours, say, but I do want a good night's sleep. I haven't got one of those in a while. Except for that one time on this creepy ship. It felt like I slept for a while, for like 3 weeks then, but it wasn't very simple sleep after being, almost eaten by a Jello monster. Ugh.
So while the two of you are talking, if you're paying attention at all, you'd see Liam's eyes kind of go almost pure gray. No irises, no nothing, just pure gray. He closes his eyes, clenches his fists, and mutters something with the word Zentarum in it. And then he opens his eyes, and they're back to the pale, seafoam green type color.
I'm more than happy to notice that, but my passive perception is 10, so I don't know if I would.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Selena might notice something. Might notice who's kind of doing something weird over there, but she's too busy talking to pay attention.
All right.
Because it's Selena, that's what she does. Yap, yap, yap.
And Knife just standing there, blank stare.
So, should I buy you a round?
Round of what?
Drinks, of course. Why do you think we're here?
You have to be a little bit more specific with Knifey. Well, actually, we're here because A, I'm looking for a bath. B, we're looking for a place to sleep, but I'm kind of thirsty. I wonder if they have a nice herbal drink made out of sarsaparilla. It's one of my favorite things. I wonder if they have that here.
Shima turns around immediately to the barkeep and says, "Barkeep, tell me, do you have sarsaparilla?"
Darn
Are we
it.
still outside the building?
No.
Oh, that's a good
I'm
point.
assuming we wandered. I'm assuming we just kind of wandered in as we've been talking. But
See, it would be even funnier if you did that and we were still outside.
You just hear the barkeep, "What?" Oh man.
Yeah, you can hear quite a bit of like shouting and singing from inside, so you probably get the idea that nobody inside would have heard anything going on outside.
Selena kind of blinks at him. Maybe you should have a sarsaparilla too.
I'm not sure. It seems like I may have had too many already.
Yep.
You've been working. God, I hope not.
Just because he's City Watch doesn't make him Captain America, okay?
Selena leans over to Knifey. I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about everything. Having absolutely no idea what a bad feeling even is.
Selena kind of shrugged in the manner of, fair enough.
So, while this is going on, Liam just walks into the yawning portal. And specifically, he's looking for any telltale signs of those who harp.
Okay.
If there's dancing and singing, there's probably at least one. Or that's just how drunk they are.
All right, give me a perception check, Liam.
All right. This is where my one comes in, I bet.
We shall see.
All right. That's not a 1. That's a total of 15.
So see if he fails it. I want Selena to try.
Okay. So you see that off to one side there's a minstrel holding a lute. It's only got 3 strings on it, but he still manages to get a pretty good tune out of it.
Okay.
And you see just a little flash of something that might be what you're looking for on his lapel, but you can't be certain that's what you saw.
Okay. I'll go sit by the minstrel then.
Selena wanders over to the bar. Excuse me, Mr. Barkeeper person?
The bartender turns around, kind of nods at you.
Hello, first of all, I'd like a sarsaparilla if you have one, please. And second of all, you don't happen to have a bathhouse on the premises or know where the best one is, would you?
He kind of tilts his head at the first bit. Then he tilts his head even further at the second bit. And just kind of shakes his head, turns around, fills up a mug with something, drops it in front of you. And answers your second question with, no bathhouses, but we do have some rooms where you can bathe in relative privacy.
relative. Selena kind of mutters that bit. Alright, well, thank you. So she takes some money out of her bag and hands it to him.
He nods at you, looks over at Shima, kind of gives him that, haven't seen you in a good 12 hours sort of nod. And
Weren't you just here 5 minutes ago?
just that sort of, a regular, nice to see you again sort of, gesture and,
Shima doesn't even say anything. He just plops the correct amount onto the bar.
and you get, like, almost immediately there's a big ol' stein in front of you.
Which he
Selena's
drinks
eyes kinda go
deeply
wide
from.
a little. Selena's eyes kind of go wide at that. She sniffs at her drink and takes a small sip. What is it, first of all?
You just hear goo.
It comes in pints.
Alright, so Selena takes a small sip of her drink. Is it actually sarsaparilla or is it something else?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for that.
Are you rolling for that or am I?
I'm rolling for it.
Oh no.
Well, it's not what you asked for, but it tastes pretty good.
Alright, does it taste like it has any alcohol in it at all, though?
Give me a perception check.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
One.
To be fair, Selena's got decent perception, being a cleric, but
Natural 1, instantly drunk. Come on!
I rolled a 5, and I think perception is what, +2 to her? Although I don't know if... I don't know what I add to that, or I'm supposed to add to that, so...
see, you rolled a 5.
I rolled a 5, yes.
So +2 with your wisdom bonus, so that's a 7.
Uh-oh.
I mean, maybe? Hard to tell.
She kind of shrugs and starts sipping at it then.
Okay, we'll get back to that later.
She comes in and yeah, well, we will, it'll be fun. She kind of heads over to Knifey. Well, this isn't sarsaparilla, but it tastes decent.
Huh.
I mean, Knife, you would know that you don't have to eat or drink, but you are capable of doing so.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
To be fair,
It's-
Knife himself probably wouldn't know that.
True.
I think by now he would have figured something like that out.
Are you sure?
Maybe?
I might have broken a few utensils.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if Knife had grown up around people eating and drinking and just assumed he had to. But that's not my decision to make, so...
Quit giving him ideas.
3 clicks in the head.
Yeah, see, in most campaigns, the mantra is don't give the DM ideas. In this campaign, it's don't give the Prinny ideas.
Yo.
Fantastic.
I cannot wait till I start being a DM myself for one game.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
That will come. That will come.
Yes. All right. So looking around the bar, besides the minstrel, well, first of all, the minstrel happens to glance my way. I might, or I'll kind of surreptitiously give him a peek at my lapel as well.
Okay, let me roll to see if he notices anything.
Though it probably wouldn't be his lapel and everything. But yeah.
Passive perception 15. Yeah, he probably. I mean, because, well, let's see. Give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can pull this off without other people noticing.
Okay, how packed is it?
It's a pretty rowdy night.
Okay, then I will not do that.
Okay.
And I will just take a glance around and kind of passively listen in to what conversations I can hear.
Okay.
At that point, you hear Shima say loudly at the bar, and then I said, "The aristocrats."
Oh. Okay.
I'm just kind of sitting at the table with a wide eyes, slowly sipping your drink, looking around the room.
So you're all like at different places in the tavern right now?
We split
Yep.
the party.
Yep.
Oh,
We're
this
all
is-
gonna die.
Oh, this is just great.
Well, where's Knife at? Because Selena might be following him around.
You're drinking at the bar, and I'm basically standing right next to you.
Okay.
If you're drunk enough, I'm probably just a wall to you, though.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What is?
And I don't think I add much to that. If anything.
Your Constitution saving throw modifier is a 0, my friend. Oh, this is better than I could have hoped. Alright, so you're drunk. Which means you've got...
He doesn't know this enough.
You've never been drunk before. You wouldn't know.
She's only 19, which will come up in a minute.
Well, I
What's
mean,
the
you know,
drinking age in this country anyway?
fantasy setting, kind of European-ish. It's lower than 19.
Okay, well, she in any case has never been drunk before, though, having grown up in a temple.
Yeah.
Goody
Yeah.
two-shoes type character and all.
I mean, you might have seen occasionally a priest get a little too much into the communion wine, but aside from that...
Oh,
And
this is
I'm
I have a
just
feeling this is a little stronger than that.
a
Bear in mind,
bit.
she still has no idea what she's drinking.
This is true.
And I'm just standing right
Other than she
next to
knows it's not
Celine.
sarsaparilla, but it tastes pretty good.
All you know is that it tastes real good.
Well, at first she thought it tasted pretty good, and as the night goes on, as she keeps sipping it, it tastes better and better.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And Shima's jokes just get funnier and funnier.
And she's laughing louder and louder at them without realizing that she's doing so.
And then suddenly, from across the bar, like across the tavern, like towards the back of the room, you hear a bit of a scuffle, and you hear somebody shout,
Selena doesn't.
and you hear somebody shout, "You! What, you think you just sit there after what you did to my mates?" And if anybody takes a moment to look, you see this half-orc woman sitting at a table towards the back of the tap room just get sucker punched by this guy in black leather armor who's got like 4 dudes flanking him. And then
That's not nice.
and they just get into it.
So Shima did look over at the noise, and as soon as the fight starts, he puts down his drink, wipes his mouth, and says, "Ugh, never off duty," and heads in that direction.
Yeah, it's actually really crowded. It's even It's actually even worse than it would be, because now that a fight's broken out, there's a bunch of people all crowding around to see what's going on.
Can I attempt to simultaneously shove my way through, but also yell fairly loudly, "Stand aside!" and use intimidate?
Sure, go ahead.
Alrighty. My first roll of the campaign, guys! My first roll!
Woo! Is it a 1?
It's actually not too bad. It's a what's my intimidation? +4 is 19.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay,
Well
yeah,
then.
you definitely managed to push through the crowd of onlookers, and yeah, this half-orc is taking on like 5 dudes at once, and
Shiva!
they're
Her stool that catches herself.
they're putting some hurt on her, but she's, definitely returning in kind.
I'm on the Brute Squad. You are the Brute Squad.
At which point, once he gets there, he probably shouts something along the lines of, "Break it up there, City Watch!"
Okay, yeah. At that point, everything just kind of stops, and like almost like a freeze frame of like 2 dudes like trying to hold the half orc back while the third dude is getting ready to like punch her straight in the gut, and everybody just kind of freezes. And Durnan, the barkeep, takes the opportunity to point at the black clad men and just go, "You out!" And all 5 of them just kind of look at him, look at you, look at her, and
Look
they
at
just
the lead half drunk.
and they just let go. They glare at Shima. They glare at the half orc. This is Nova, and they leave.
Selena starts clapping. Yay! Encore!
Knife just puts his hand onto Celine. Now's not the time.
Huh?
Like he knows what's happened to Celine. And he's just too used to it.
So,
Way.
for anybody who's near Liam, once the black-clad, or whoever the spokesman of the black-clad people says this isn't over, Liam goes, "Oh, bad chapbook rats. How wonderful."
He kind of shoots a glare at you as he heads out the door.
So, just out of curiosity, given my time as a city watchman, do I recognize any of them, or any markings on their arm or anything like that?
Give me a quick perception check.
No, that's my worst one.
Don't worry, it's not a difficult roll.
Okay, so this is translucent purple for the win. Here we go. Oh, 15 again. Nice.
Yay!
Okay, what's your skill bonus?
0.
Better than a negative.
Cough, cough, Pruny.
You could be asking me anything about intelligence, and I think I made it clear at this point that my character is not.
Okay, you did notice that the one guy who was like the leader of that particular group had, was pretty much shaved bald and had a bunch of tattoos resembling eyes all over his scalp.
Knowledge, arcana, history, religion, anything to see if more details can be gotten?
Give me a history check.
Okay. All right, these are new dice. Natural 20.
Okay, then.
I was looking at the symbol and it's like, is the dragon the 1 or the 20? Well, the 1's on the other side, so.
You instantly know everything about their mothers.
They were hamsters.
Specifically, their mothers, not the people themselves.
Okay, now I need to create a spell that misdirects knowledge checks to do things like that.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
A spell by the name of Yo Mama. Okay.
Selena's
So-
kinda humming to herself at this point.
With that knowledge of history, you would have definitely heard through your various connections that there's been a lot of bad blood recently in Waterdeep between the Zentarum and the Xanathar Thieves Guild, which is a guild of thieves and ruffians that is run out of the someplace in the sewers by a beholder
What?
that goes by the name of Xanathar.
Oof.
And apparently he's been around a long time.
Oh boy.
And the last you'd heard before you took off from Baldur's Gate was there had been a massive flare-up of hostilities between the two factions.
Okay.
So while you're processing this, the half-orc kind of picks herself up off the floor and kind of does
Shima would probably have tried to help her up.
She kind of waves you off and picks herself up, and she's like,
Is she injured at all?
a little bit, yeah, but I'm not sure if you would notice at this point.
Oh, okay.
Just to clarify, the symbol of the eyes, is that Xanathar or is that the Zentarum?
That's Xanathar. You would know, without a doubt, that the Zentarum symbol is a winged snake.
Yes. Just didn't know if it was a faction, like a splinter faction nota or symbol. Anyways, okay.
But yeah, the half-orc kind of picks herself up and just kind of, gruffly, does a nod at Shima. I could have taken them, but thanks anyway, officer.
Shima actually at this point speaks up in Orcish and just asks, "Are you sure everything's okay?"
She kind of blinks in surprise a bit and responds in kind, "I'll be fine. Not the first time I've dealt with those punks."
He just says, "Fair enough," and kind of nods himself and satisfied that the situation's been dealt with for the most part, at least in his capacity, he heads off back to his drink.
Well, before you can do that...
Ooh, okay.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
Dramatic dun dun dun.
Near the center of the floor is the well that leads down into the dungeon complex, and there's now the crowd's a little quieter after everything that just happened. Everybody can kind of hear some fairly loud sounds of exertion, as if something is climbing up the well, and this massive, ugly hand grabs the edge of the well, and a massive troll pulls itself out of the well in the center of the room.
Oh, look, a shack too.
And and from behind the bar, Durnan sees this and he's like, "Everybody out! It's a troll!" Roll initiative.
Oh,
Man.
they brought a cave troll.
So you're saying there's a troll in the dungeon?
It's not in the dungeon anymore. That's the problem.
Oh, that's a
You know-
higher roll than I wanted, actually.
Selena, you have disadvantage on all d20 rolls until you sober up.
Oh, crud.
It's just a
first roll was a 12. I was really hoping for something less in this particular case.
It's just- right?
All right, so I'm gonna roll for the troll.
Oh.
Incidentally, it appears to have a handful of winged creatures kind of hovering around its head, and several more that are kind of like stuck to its back.
Huh.
If anybody wants to give me a nature check to see if they can figure out what's going on there.
I am not even gonna try.
Well, it was a 4.
Actually, you know what? Let's try for the sake of it.
Natural 20. Natural 20.
That is a rolled 2. So that is a 1.
Welp.
Nice.
Shima got a 15.
For the record, my initiative was a 7.
Okay, I'm gonna need to make. Actually, can somebody keep track of initiative for me? I gotta look up a couple of things in the book real quick.
I got it.
Oh, good.
All right, you got
Thank
it.
you.
Good.
So, let's see. Shima got 16.
Well, hold on. I rolled 7, but was there a modifier?
Your initiative modifier is right next to your armor class.
Oh, so it's just 0. Okay.
So was it 17?
No, I rolled a 7.
7, sorry, my bad. And
I
then,
got a 12 plus 1, so a total of 13.
13.
I was really hoping for less in this particular case.
I would
Liam?
trade you if I could, but I don't think
Natural
you're...
1.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Well then.
What on earth is
All right, so Shima and Selena, you've probably never seen these before, but you've definitely heard about them. These are sturges. Basically, imagine a cross, like the ugliest cross possible between a bat and a giant mosquito.
Ooh,
So
nice.
These are nasty bloodsuckers, and given what you know about a troll and its regenerative properties, these suckers found a pretty nice banquet downstairs. And the troll just kind of happened to bring them with him.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to point out, by the way, that the DM is totally trolling us right now.
Oh, of course.
You know, that pun really sucked.
Alright, somebody's got to get a soundboard out for moments like this.
Actually, I mean, if you want, I have an option for,
Rim shot?
we'll go with the sad trombone. Alright, so the trolls got a 4 for initiative, and the sturges that are flying have 8 for initiative.
Okay, which put us Shima top of the round.
Yep.
Alright, what you gonna do? Actually, hold on, I need to roll for Durnan real quick. Let's see, what's his...
Wait, roll who?
The
The
innkeeper.
barkeep.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
He's a retired adventurer. He grabbed a giant sword from behind the bar and jumped over it when the troll came up.
Yeah, giant swords are tight.
Alright, so...
The statement you have presented appears plausible. Or, in other words, okay, I believe you.
Oh man. Sturges. Why did it have to be Sturges?
It's pretty. I want to pet one.
Durnan rolled an 8. Durnan rolled an 8 as well, so he's going after the Sturgis.
Alrighty. So Shima is going to. How close is he to the troll right now?
It's a pretty tight room, and trolls are pretty freaking big.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's not exactly at full health because he's got like 6 of these Sturges on his back. So you might be able to take him down before he can cause too much trouble, as long as you take him down fast.
Okay, so he is going to draw his greatsword with gusto. Are there still people in the room? Are they still kind of getting out of the way? Because it like just happened, right? Are they still in the room? The patrons?
At this point, especially since there was kind of enough of a advance warning, because people heard this whole mess of nonsense coming up the well. People started backing away when they heard the noise, and then when that first hand came up, people were already bolting for the door.
Okay.
So
in which
it's
case he's not.
Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to worry about collateral damage here.
So in which case he yells something along the lines of, "I've got the big guy. Someone else take care of the flying things." Let's see. Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Not a great opener. 12 total.
That's gonna miss the troll.
Dang it!
Yeah.
I blame the beer.
Which one?
You were only at your first.
Alright.
Alright, who's next?
I actually don't remember the name. Tomed?
Yeah. Selena's here.
Selena, thank you.
Selena kind of looks around the room, tries to focus on the troll, and looks down at her cup that's empty, sighs. I'll just bless everybody and pour me another round. So she casts bless on Liam and Shima and Knife.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, so the 3 of you are blessed, as long as Selena is concentrating on the spell. Whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, roll a d4 and add that number to your roll.
Nice.
Wait, whenever we roll a what?
Anything.
An attack roll or saving throw.
Ooh.
Hey, where's my other mug? A lot more. Stuff's pretty good. Haven't ever had it before.
Durnan's like over by Shima menacing the troll. Kinda busy here!
Aw.
And it's actually. Is that Selena's go, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Durnan and the Sturges.
Okay, the Sturges are actually a little bit faster, so they are going to...
They are flighty little buggers.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Womp womp.
2 of them are going to take a swipe at Durnan, and one of them is going to take a swipe at Shima. Let's see. It's probably going to hit.
The third one's gonna hit who? You cut out a little.
The third one's going for Shima,
Okay.
because he's right there.
Yeah?
I just have to double check something here. I mean, 22 is definitely going to hit him. That's... why can't I find things when I need them? There we go. Okay,
I blame cheese.
That's 2 hits on Durnan, so he takes a couple of hits, but yeah, he's a retired adventurer. He can probably, take some damage. And the one that goes after Shima just whiffs entirely. Just kind of buzzes your scalp and heads back up. The ones that are attached to the back of the troll just kind of detach and lazily kind of glide back down the well. They look like they're full and happy, and they are just not interested in a fight.
Alrighty.
And then Durnan takes a swipe at one of the ones that attacked him. Actually, he's going to swing at both of them. That's a natural 20 on the first.
Nice.
That's a 15 on the second. Yeah, he hits both of them and just cleaves the 2 that are harassing him. They both just fall to the ground in pieces. So now he's going to turn his attention to the troll because he's got 2 more attacks. That's going to be 1 hit. And that's another hit. That's going to be... Okay. Yeah, he does some serious damage to the troll, and it's already, it was already pretty hurt, so it's,
Yeah.
he's got some cuts in him along with all the little bloodsucker wounds on his back at this point. And that's Durnan's turn. Who's next?
Next is Knife.
All right, Knife.
Oh boy.
Go get him, Knifey!
So at this point, I'm gonna just pick up Selena and take her outside. You are in no position for this.
Where are we going? Of course not, I'm not in position out here.
Let's find you a bucket.
Selena, are you going to resist?
No,
Okay.
you're just kind of going along with it, kind of
Okay.
looking around very unfocused at the moment. What do I need a bucket for?
I'll find out.
Oh? Is it a surprise? I
Sure.
like surprises.
It's a surprise.
Oh, goody.
Just go outside and find a bucket.
Okay.
And I just put her down at the door, then turn around to face the troll.
I'm gonna say that's your action for the turn.
Yeah, that's my entire turn.
Okay.
Like, I don't even have my weapon out.
So I believe, does that mean it's the troll's turn?
It is the troll, yep.
Okay. After the troll kind of takes these nasty hits from Durnan's sword, as you watch, you can see the sword slashes start to close up almost immediately.
Oh, right.
Don't worry, I got this.
And it's going to make one. It's going to bite at Shima and try to claw at Durnan. That bite's going to hit. That's a 19 plus.
Ow.
The claws, that's a hit. That's also a hit. So Durnan takes a couple more swipes, but he's still holding strong. The bite, on the other hand, deals 7 piercing damage to Shima.
Tis but a scratch.
I'm invincible!
You're a loony. Anyway. So that brings us to the bottom of the order, is that right?
Down to Liam. Yep.
Okay.
Alright. Is there any... Are there any fires, or is there like a fireplace or whatever?
Yeah, there's lanterns and fireplace all around you.
Okay.
You're actually kind of over by a fireplace right now, actually.
Alright, so I'm going to just glance at one of the burning brands in the fireplace and trace like a mental line in the air arcing towards the troll's head and
Ooh, I
use
see where this
catapult.
is going. Okay.
Use catapult, yep.
Well then.
Selena at this point is arguing with the door.
You're the one that keeps distracting knife.
Out of my way! I'm supposed to go find a bucket for us. Right.
Told you, Selena.
I'm gonna
Fine.
have to rough you up.
Alright, so dexterity saving throw from the troll.
Yeah.
Yep, that fails.
All right, so
That is
That-
3d8. We're going to call it fire damage because it is an ember
Yes.
from the fireplace.
yes. 13 fire damage.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
already marked my spell.
Yeah, he's definitely hurting. He did not like that fire damage at all. You can see the fire kind of cauterizes the wounds, keeps them from closing all the way.
Nice.
And that brings us back up to the top of the order. That's Shima.
So I have a question. Is he, at this point, still near or in the fire?
No, it was it was a small like chunk of like burning ember that
Got
it struck him, and the fire hurt him, but then without the rest of the fire around it, it like went out almost immediately.
Is there any way that from where I am to where he is that I could just kind of make a shot? Oh, hang on, Siri's about to say something. I gotta stop her before she does. Okay, good. Is there
what?
any way that I could kind of bull rush him into the fire? I'm not sure if I have to have a feat for that or something. You know.
You know what? Let's see here.
Would it be athletics or?
Yeah, give me a strength athletics check. I'll oppose with his strength, and we'll see what happens.
So what I would like to do, though, in order to make this work, is I'd like to drop the sword, grab up a chair, and use that to kind of push him into the fire, if that's possible.
Okay.
just to make things really complicated.
Okay. I'm having to reorient because I had pictured that Shima was kind of between Liam and the fireplace and the troll, but
In which case, I got something else I'll do, but I wasn't sure if he was in the position for that or not, so that's no problem. In
well,
which case, he's going to keep things simple then and just go ahead and unleash a breath weapon since the sword didn't work the first time.
okay. Constitution saving throw. Ooh, he's got
Oh,
good.
so long as it's not going to hit anybody.
At this point, yeah, the troll's big enough. You can angle it to where you're not gonna hit anybody. Actually,
good.
you'll hit the troll and the one sturge that's still left. So let me
Troll on the
do.
what?
There's still one sturge kind of flittering around.
Okay.
So we'll see if that. They've both got. Okay, the sturges have crap for Constitution, so. Yep, that's a fail. So the sturge just turns into like a ice cube and falls to the floor and shatters. The troll, on the other hand, rolls a 15. That's going to save. Does your breath weapon do half damage on a save?
Half damage, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll 2d6 and then have it.
So I got a 9 for that.
Okay,
which
so
gives
half
me
rounded down is 4. So, let's see. I swear I'm going to have pencil and paper handy next time to keep track of things.
Sure you will. Sure you will.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I believe
We're,
you.
we're good.
Um,
All right.
And he's pretty much going to stay where he is, and he still has his sword in hand since he didn't drop it.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, no, never mind. That was for attacks and saves. Never mind.
All right, so...
Next up would be Selena. and her bucket.
No, she's nice.
She hasn't found a bucket yet.
She hasn't actually left the room yet. She's still arguing with the door, and she uses her action to headbutt the door.
Okay. Make an attack roll with disadvantage.
One. Oh, darn, that was a 6.
But you have a second roll.
Darn, that was a 15.
All right, so you're wavering so much that you go to headbutt the door and you miss.
What?
You miss the standing target.
You literally can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. Or of a bar.
Yeah, drop the N and you're good.
It was going to be more fun for everybody else, so she crit failed, but oh well.
I'd imagine if you crit fail, you go to headbutt the door, but you just
over and
you
vomit all
fall over, and the door, you just open the door and fall out of the building.
Oh yeah, she was trying to pull on the door and it was a push.
Yes.
So is she laying on the floor right now because she missed the door with the headbutt then?
Give me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
18. 3.
Yep.
There we go. That's more like it.
So you fall through the door after trying to open it and then trying to headbutt it.
And is she unconscious?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Although, let's see. You take 3 points of damage from the fall.
Ouch.
That's just mean.
You decide to go ahead and drink. You saw the warning signs, and you still.
She asked for sarsaparilla. She's going to be a little more suspicious in the future after she sobers up.
I think something else is gonna happen first, though.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen in this session or not, but that'll be a lot of fun too.
All right, who's next?
The remaining Sturge is up next.
Oh, it's dead. You froze
Oh,
it.
that's right. It looks very sparkly and crystalline on the floor.
Yeah.
Have you guys been remembering your D4 of additional damage?
Nobody's been making actual attack rolls. It's all been saving throws.
Yep.
Are you even concentrating at this point?
She's not unconscious yet.
That's true.
She's still unconscious, so.
So it would be Durnham then. In that case.
Okay. At this point, he's actually just going to try to kind of position himself between the troll and any stragglers that are still trying to get out of the building, who are tripping over Selena's prone form at the moment. So he's putting up more of a defensive stance. So that brings it to knife.
Honestly, I feel like I'd be helping out any stragglers as well. just motioning them towards the door, keeping myself between any stragglers and the troll.
Okay, so do you want to like do a defensive stance then, just in case?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, my first target to get out of the building was Celine. Didn't go quite as I hoped, but you know. When you start arguing with the door, you kind of just stop trying.
Yeah?
I love how this just turned into passing the idiot ball for half a session.
Wait, what?
Exactly. Who's next?
Okay, then.
The troll is up.
Okay. All right. The troll is still kind of smoldering from that ember that got launched at him, and he's still mad at Durnan, so he's still going to try to make those claw attacks. But Durnan's in a defensive position, ready for it, so it's going to be a disadvantage. Still hits him for 1.
Ooh.
Misses on the second, and he's going to bite at Shima again. 17 plus... Yeah, that's a hit. So it's going to be another... Oh, that's 8 piercing damage.
Ooh, that's not good.
Is that-
Shima as the teeth kind of pull away, he has a bit of a grin on his face, but he pretty much his eyes roll back and he falls backwards onto the floor.
Oof.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What are you gonna do, Liam?
Well, it worked so well last time. I'm gonna try again.
All right, so that's a dexterity save.
Yeah.
What's your save DC again?
14.
Doesn't matter. You roll a 2.
All right.
3d8. Let's see if you can take him out.
Oh, that's good so far. I only have 2 die 8 out. That is another 13 damage.
13 total.
Yep.
Oh, so close. All right, so the troll screams again, and the
Beat him right in the eye.
the wounds cauterize even further.
All right.
And that brings us up to the top of the order. Shima gets to make a death save.
Ooh, my first death save, everybody.
The first death save.
Yes.
Is he at 0 hit points right now?
He's at
A
0.
little bit below.
Well, no, you drop to 0, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So just roll a straight d20.
Yeah, it's a straight d20.
Alrighty.
20.
Can Selena crawl over and stabilize him yet, or no?
You're outside the building.
You'd have to wait till your turn to do anything.
She's only half outside the building, thank you.
What did you roll?
14.
Okay, that's 1 success.
Woo!
You hit 3 successes and you stabilize. You hit 3 failures first, and you did.
Okay.
Hopefully we can finish this off before that becomes an issue.
Yes.
All right, so
yeah, Shima will bleed and drool.
Shima's that was Shima's turn. Sturges are dead. Durnan's in defensive mode, and
That's
that's Selena, right?
You go to Selena, yeah.
Okay. Out of character question.
Yeah.
Would a healing spell stabilize Shima, or do I have to stabilize him first and then heal?
No, it would bring him up from 0 immediately.
Okay.
Yep.
How far away am I right now?
Close enough for a healing spell to reach.
Well, I have a touch one, and I have one distance.
You're not close enough to touch him, definitely.
Alright, well, that's what I'm wondering is from prone is half a walking speed, right?
Yeah, if you were gonna...
That's what I'm wondering is am I close enough that I can crawl, that she can crawl over and touch him or not?
You know, let me do a quick check here. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's within 15 feet.
Alright. Selena's gonna kind of blink and kind of crawl over and slap him on the back. Hey, Shima, get up! The troll's still fighting. She's gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Nice.
And that is 1d8 plus spell modifier. 6 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is... What is my spellcasting modifier?
+2.
+2, okay. So that's 8 points of healing.
Nice.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Not too bad for being drunk. And it's still on the floor.
Shima blinks awake and is like, what happened about me?
Troll!
Which is still looming over both your prone bodies, by the way.
Troll!
Excuse me, I don't feel so good. We're crawling for the door again.
Make a Constitution save for me.
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
It's still at disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna be a 4 then.
Okay. Now, roll me a flat d20.
Oh boy.
I swear, if you throw up on me,
11.
You throw up on the troll. He takes 1 point of acid damage. Which is not quite enough to kill it. I was really hoping to roll better on a D-freaking-6.
And you just hear knife in the background. Surprise!
by the way, this is how Selena begins her cross-class into Drunken Master.
Oh, man. Whose turn is it?
Gonna multi-class her into ranger.
Next is Durin.
All right. Durnan's just, pretty much gotten everybody out at this point and just kind of looks at everything that's going on. He's just kind of like, really? And he just kind of, at this point, he just kind of, takes a half-hearted swing with his sword, and the troll just collapses.
Oh.
Shima gets to his feet and kind of stretches out and says, "Well, that was fun."
Selena throws up again.
He steps back. He's like, "Whoa, whoa!"
I just polished this armor yesterday.
The battle being over, Liam uses prestidigitation to clean Selena up.
Thanks.
And I start looking for a bucket.
Bit late for that.
Yeah.
There might be more.
So Shima starts kind of clapping people on the shoulder and, "Well met, good job, hurrah!" and so on.
All right.
And Durnan's like, appreciate the help. Usually have to deal with that sort of stuff on my own.
This happens often.
Not too often. Just every once in a while. Kind of comes with the territory. He kind of tilts his head towards the well.
Selena kind of glances over at it with crossed eyes. What
I
idiot
just-
put a dungeon there.
Dungeon
Nice.
was already there, ma'am. I just figured putting my tavern here would be a good way to keep stuff from down there from just getting up into the city proper without a little bit of resistance from myself and folks like you.
Selena kind of
Wise.
glances at it. Back up at Dern. Back at the well. Is about to say something, kind of hiccups and covers her mouth.
And at that point, from the very back of the tap room, you kind of hear a, "Oh, bravo! Bravo indeed! Yes! You are just the sort of people I'm looking for." And that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh, okay.
There was one thing I wanted to do real quick.
Go ahead.
Use lay on hands for Celine. Because I think that can cure a disease. Would being drunk count as that?
It would count as a poison, so yes.
So
All right.
So you can spend your 5 hit points of lay on hands to.
Just one. Or oh no, yeah.
It takes 5 to cure a poison or a disease state. So
So yeah, that's all 5.
One quick thing that Liam does is gather a vial of troll blood, because you never know when that could be useful.
okay.
And Shima goes back to his drink.
And we'll have a lot more fallout from Selena next session, I guess.
And scene.
Yeah.
You've still got the hangover.
Yep.
All I did was expedite the process.
Well done, everybody.
Yes. That was great.
The one round where you'll want low rolls. That was hilarious.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Absolutely. And welcome to Dressir, our new player, playing Shima.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Welcome to the chaos.
Oh, man.
Oh.
It's hot in here now. I've been laughing so much.
Good.
We win.
Yes.
Yes, you broke the DM. Congratulations, you've won Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
Do you get inspiration for that?
No, not this time.
Aw.
I will give you inspiration for handling getting drunk very well.
Yes, that was awesome.
Because that was amazing.
Yes, yes, it was.
I was kind of hoping that she'd notice it and have a fun little rant to go in there. It's like, well, this works too.
Oh. This was great, guys.
Oh, yeah. So, a little bit of tail end housekeeping. Anybody have anything they want to share with the audience before we call it a night?
I would say I have something, but I'll let anybody else who wants to talk go.
We don't actually condone fighting trolls while drunk. Well, I just want to make that very clear. This was
Remember,
for entertainment
kids.
purposes only.
Remember,
Yes.
kids, don't adventure and drink.
Yes.
Exactly.
If only more parties followed that advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think my first character's a Warforged? I don't need to drink.
Yeah, there.
At all, anything.
I am literally the designated adventurer in this group.
Yeah.
Selena thought he was.
And you're the lush, apparently. So, well, actually,
Not
Dressir-
intentionally!
Dressir's the lush. Silly.
Yeah, he did that on purpose.
Yes.
Selena thought it was sarsaparilla.
I mean, you don't know.
Maybe that's maybe they make it a little stronger around here.
Maybe.
Hard to say.
Um,
She's going to be much more careful from now on, though.
That's definitely
Yeah.
fair.
so we've talked a little bit, and we're still in talks. But anybody who chimes in or who's tuning in now or watches later, there's a possibility that there might be a little bit of a rotating schedule. Not super often. This is Chrono's channel right now, but I might run on stream at some point.
Well,
and there's
it's definitely a group endeavor, so.
Oh yeah. So let us know what you might want to see.
Oh, crud. I forgot a line that I was wanting to use tonight. When Selena introduced herself to Shima, I was going to have her say, "Hi, I'm Shral. I mean, Serena. I mean, Selena."
You could say that now.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
like,
yes.
I cured you of being drunk. No, you can't.
that was going to be kind of a little behind-the-scenes in-joke that I was going to throw in. I forgot all about it.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It's okay. Next random NPC we come across, you just introduce yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, so the next Agents of the Nexus episode will be in 2 weeks, as long as everyone's schedule agrees with that. There is the potential for something next Friday, depending on how everyone's schedule pans out. Again, that's kind of the main thing that determines whether or not we can get together, but
Yep.
normally the off weeks is when Shade runs his campaign for some of his friends, including myself and Tomed and Netraptor, my wife, and a few other people. But he might be around, but won't be running. Is that right?
Correct. At this point, I will be around.
Okay.
So
My current plan is for whoever's available. I have up to 6 slots available from the Sentinel Comics role-playing game starter set. There are 6 available pre-made characters that I can run. And I can actually, I've got it both in physical and in PDF form, so I can share the player guides with you guys. But it's a completely different system from Dungeons and Dragons, but it's a very superhero, Silver Age comic book sort of feel to it, and I kind of want to give the system a shot because it looks really cool.
Is it anything like the Mutants and Masterminds system?
I'm honestly not sure because I've never played that particular system. I know that it's its own thing because it was built around this. It's actually a spin-off from the Sentinels of the Multiverse card game. So it was actually kind of built to be its own thing, and it doesn't actually fit. I think one of the key things about the system is called the gyro system, where as each conflict progresses and things get more dire, it kind of represents the heroes pulling out the stops and being willing to take bigger risks in order to resolve the situation.
Gotcha.
And it also carries over an aspect of the card game in that the environment has its own things that it does on its own turn.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
So that will be interesting to play through. Right now, it's like a whole six book arc sort of thing. Like you do it each chapter of the starter set is printed like a comic, like its own comic book, which is kind of cool. But,
it's so cool.
Yeah, right now I'm just looking at running the first of the 6 as sort of a one-shot, just to see if it's something we might want to throw into the rotation every now and then. you know, we're still kind of we're still kind of getting started with the Waterdeep campaign, so I don't want to like replace it or anything. But
Exactly.
maybe just like on an off week where, you know, we normally wouldn't be doing anything, we can throw it in there for some extra content on the channel.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
Okay.
I think I'm going to call it a night here because my throat's feeling a bit dry and I would like to take a drink while I'm not on camera. I mean, to be fair, I don't normally look like this. This is all face rigs work, but
Sure.
yeah. I mean, I
Just
I,
double check it's sarsaparilla.
Good night, everybody!